Right, so I'm April 25th. I play games and then I talk about it. Today I'm playing FortressCraft Evolved in another episode of my 2018 Explain Along. So today I have enough tubes, hopefully, to finish up my work on my crystal lift. I also want to show you some stuff. Let's see, do I have my lift actually in here? Not yet. Might as well set that up. So in between episodes, I gathered up a bunch of materials because I do hope to get started on the mass storage manufacturing setup very soon. I have the transport pipes I'm going to need. Sorry, adjusting my sound a little there. I have the transport pipes I'm going to need to set up the crystal, so I'm just going to get that out of the way right off the bat. I've been gathering construction paste. I created a new place for construction paste, I'll show you. And then I'm going to do the initial steps on the mass storage manufacturing. I know that that's going to take more than one episode. So I'm trying to keep the episodes to about 20-30 minutes. I'm not very good at that. But I know that there's just too much on the list today for that to be one episode, so I'll have to break it up a little. But I can definitely get started. Oops, what's that doing? That's going... Okay, let's set up the belt first off. Or belt, the cutter head, because that's important. Right, okay. Remove only. Need a transport pipe even for this. And then this one is looking for plasma cutter heads. It should run off and grab one pretty easily. Hopefully. It's taking a while longer to figure out route. Anyway, this is also going to need some power. So let me get that going. Anyway, so in theory, I should have my new intro on this video. I got nice and ahead on my recording last week. I'm about running out of recordings though, and with the goal of taking that time to kind of improve my setup a little bit. So I have... Oh, that's a camo bot. I'm gonna kill that. Yes. Okay. There might be some bitterness involved in my attitude towards camo bots. So I moved my microphone very, very close to my face. I had a old actual mic boom up in my studio, which well, that was a very poor placement. Okay, let's do... Remind me to edit that out. Okay. I had an old mic boom in my studio, which I was actually using to clamp a camera to. It's a long story. And then I was like, hey, you know, I could put a mic on that. So I actually have a mic boom with my big old mic right in front of my face now. I had to fiddle with it quite a bit to get some sort of setup where I could, you know, see the game. And that let me turn down the volume on my mic by a lot, so hopefully I won't sound as tinny, but, well, no promises. I might have to fiddle with the volume again a little bit to get it right. Back to the really exciting news, though. I made myself a channel intro, and I made it really sparkly because it's my channel and I do what I want. And also it really amuses me to see like a super sparkly intro where it's just like grand ta-da, and what you get is the games I play, because I tend to play like indie games with kind of a weird vibe, like cartoonish, or something like this, which is like just dark and atmospheric but not really horror. And then, you know, glitter reveal, FortressCraft. Yeah. I might be easily amused. Okay, this... I am not using 2 of them to get over there. I'm just not. I'm gonna have to take all of this apart to make this into how I want it to be. Okay, let's do drill. Why didn't I just move it over one up there? These are the questions you ask yourself after you've taken everything apart. Alright, back to the topic at hand. That can keep its add remove. I need 1 more transport pipe. I'm gonna need 1 over here. Remove 1 and put back our logistics valve core. Yes, it's going to get some. This has one already, so it's not sitting in my inventory. And this is already perma-full. Let's see if we can speed this up a little. Yeah, so it's you'll see as I look back there, it's kind of doubled in the capacity. Alright, let's increase this a little bit so that it can stock up while the lift is upstairs. And there we go. We have crystal automated down here. Oh, I should probably go upstairs. What is that? Thought I saw something moving back there. It was probably a slime. Alright, let's shoot the camel bots. Oh, that's not a camel bot. That's a block. Yeah. So I looked dumb. Okay. I'll grab construction paste on the way because I know I need a ton of construction paste. Wait, that's the wrong floor. This is the right floor. So, a couple years ago, it's been quite a while since this was fixed, and yet, it used to be if you, like, ran at the edge of a lift as the lift arrived, not every time, but sometimes, you would just randomly die. Like, it counted as, like, falling to your death because you got caught in the little area between the lift and the ground. So, yeah. In order to get off on floors, you kind of have to, like, run it at just the right moment. But also I'm scared to run at just the right moment because it got so conditioned into myself. I got it conditioned into me not to do that. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Okay. Try 2. Riding a lift. There we go. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is show you kind of my construction paste setup. I have that one down there because that's a good bit of coal to clean out, but I'm not going to want to be running down there and trying to get off at the right stop constantly just to get construction paste. So, I actually came over here. Here is where the construction paste is made. I wanted to get it up top in one spot so it's easy to collect, but also as I run out of one coal vein, I can just go find another. So it's not hooked up to this coal vein. This coal vein is feeding our base for a little while longer. I'm probably going to have to find another one. The reason I put it beside this is at some point I can always decide to split this coal and use some of it to create those if I need to. But anyway, I'm going to go downstairs. I really didn't go down far at all. I'm at -20. Keep it nice and simple. I went down and just started clearing out a big old space to look for coal in. And I'm already working on finding my next coal vein because I think that one was kind of small. We're going to do pink colored ore. Oh, that's kind of big. Well, that's about to hit a lot of copper. Probably. Let's go over there and dig that way. Alright, I'm just going to leave that to do its thing. Hopefully it'll have found coal or be close to coal by the time I need the coal. How did I miss that completely? I don't know. There we go. That one's always an adventure to get out of too. I should just set up a lift, and yet I'm lazy. Okay, so the next big project on the list. Oh, let me grab some of these. I knew I was going to be running out of these, so I've been trying to keep them going while I had my not in video time. So the next project is my mass storage manufacturing setup. So I'm using a mod for that. It's by Steveman again. He apparently makes some really great mods. The way that's going to be set up is I'm going to have a fairly big mass storage area, and I'm going to have freight carts coming in from all directions bringing components like the titanium housing, some charged lithium coils, and filling up that mass storage. And then I'm going to have maybe 5 or 6 of those mass storage manufacturers running at all times. So I do need a fairly big area for that, and I was thinking right over here. So I'm gonna need a whole bunch of construction paste. There's no way I have enough right now. Where am I at? I got 5.4k. That'll dent it. It definitely won't finish the room. It might be enough for the platform though. And the other thing is I think I'm gonna need to knock down this mountain, which is unfortunate because I've been taking the screenshots for my thumbnails from up top. It's got a nice look down on the base, but it's about to disappear. And I wanted to show you something here. This is kind of my portable excavator setup. So often in this game, I find myself needing to knock down a mountain. And one way to do it when I'm up top that it really works well for me is kind of this. So I do a work floor excavator. I pretty much always do Mark 1 because it's rare for me to actually want to dig through the ore vein. I'd rather keep the ore and use it somewhere, almost always. Power storage block. 2 pyrothermic generators. So one on top of the power storage block, one beside it. A storage hopper, and then I fill it with coal. And this is something that I do so often that I actually kind of have a bar set up for it. So I can just go down the list and do each of the things I need. And then I can leave this here to turn in circles. Obviously, the excavators are only 3 high. Mountains are taller than that. So this is a nice little hill, really. It's not a mountain. Like, in the US, someone on the East Coast would call this a mountain, and someone on the West, like in the West, would be like, no, that's not a mountain. I can show you a mountain. I grew up in Arizona, and then I moved to the Midwest later in life. And some of the stuff they call a mountain around here is just ridiculous. So I'm just building up, I think I built up 3, and I'm adding another level of turning auto excavator. It's not going to reach the top, but I can just go through and delete the remaining amount myself. And then when I come back through, usually it won't use up all the coal. It'll get about halfway through the coal. I'll just grab my materials and set these up somewhere else. Usual disclaimer that using auto excavators is a lot of power. So if you're trying to defend your base, if you run over and you set up 3 or 4 auto excavators, you're going to drive your thread up and suddenly you're going to be being attacked by more mobs. So just keep aware of that if it's something you're paying attention to. And now, I think I'm going to want to... This is hard to plan out. But I know that I like to have as few junctions as possible, so we'll just extend the freight carts out this way. And then... yeah, we'll do that. And then over on this side, we're only going to count over by a couple. So we're going to do 3 this time. I don't remember why, but there was some reason why 3 is better. And then the wall can be right here. We're also going to want to be able to do across the front. So We're gonna need it back by a couple here too. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then let's put on the other side so I'm not falling. Basically, the next step is I need to build a platform. I guess that's not too thrilling. Okay, I'm just sticking that there, so I'm not going to fall down the other side of that very often. I don't necessarily need it yet. I don't know what I'm going to be sticking over there. I am going to need a lot here. So I do tend to stick this in a giant room. I actually... see if we can see it from here. It's not worth going to see. I started to build out the room down there, so I need to finish putting the walls on there, but at least I put the doors on there. I don't know how long I'm gonna let this get yet. I guess I need to just make a stand, and when I fill up that space, I can always make it bigger, just so I can get that closed off. And I know I've talked about this before, but partially closing it off is just a little bit of how I like to do things. In a game in the past, I had a lot of fun. I actually grabbed the Creative Blocks module, which adds a bunch of more blocks from the creative mode, and I did a different theme for every house and all that, and I had a ton of fun with that. But that's just me. So partially I'm using rooms because I like to. Partially, it does seem to help a bit on performance, especially with mass storage manufacturing. So this room's basically going to have 100 mass storage inputs, and all those little drone things flying around out of them. And then it's going to have conveyor belts. Mostly it's the mass storage that creates the lag in there. So it's nice to not have that out in the main base. I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. Yeah, not having that out in the main base, great. Alrighty, you guys have done everything you can reach. Maybe we'll put down a little more track, make it easy to keep track of. I'm just doing it this way instead of doing the control click because I kind of want all the rock and stuff from that to turn into construction paste. It's not actually efficient. I'm being dumb, but I do want to do brick floor all the way, or it'll start to bug me. My patchy base, I still haven't properly built it out. I had not realized how much I was enjoying that Creative Blocks mod, because I was not having to work so hard to have construction paste. I thought that, you know, hey, construction paste isn't a big deal, but now I'm like, wow, maybe I shouldn't just burn through it like crazy, because having to locate and make more construction paste is turning to be a real pain. Anyway, what else was I doing over here? So, I have to decide where it's gonna come in. Well, so where am I gonna come in? I want the door on the most convenient side, so actually, I'm gonna stick my door... Well, the thing about the door... Somebody said something about not needing the airlock, so maybe I should look that up. But with the airlock, which I believe is necessary to make it function, the problem is it brings out how much space you need on that side by quite a bit. So I don't want to, and I don't actually like having the door super close to where I'm running through either, so what I'm saying is all of the options are not great. Okay, we're gonna stick the door on this side. Right here. 1, 2, 3. So that should be 4 total. I'm just doing this so I have a placeholder. The door itself can go right here. And I'm gonna have to put this wall back a bit. That's 2, 3, 4. I think that's right. Let me put on the doors just to be sure. I'm also going to want the room itself to be very, very tall. So hey, maybe I can just stand on the building to take my screenshots. Well, I'm going to have to make some doors. While I'm over there, I should make some mass storage thingies, because I'm going to need those. So, 2 doors, or sets of doors, I guess I should say. And then, mass storage. I'll do about... I'm going to need a lot of these, but I don't want to run out of lightweight machine housing. So that'll be enough for now. Some stocking ports, maybe about... just 10 to get me started. I don't need an output port yet. I'm trying to remember what I ever needed that for. I feel like there was an output port involved somewhere, but I don't know where. And let me see if I've researched. I haven't. Mass storage manufacturer, Mark 1. I gotta show you the blueprint builder sometime soon too. But the mass storage manufacturer, right here, basic mass storage, maybe that's where I needed it. Okay, I'm gonna start off with 3 of these, because I'm out of copper wire. Okay, let's go grab some copper wire. That was glowing oddly. I only have 10 lightweight machine housings. Definitely want all of this construction paste. And I kind of need some coal too. I gotta say that doing a web series like this, or what is it called? It's a Let's Play. Having a YouTube channel and playing this game has really taught me how long this game takes. I have done previous playthroughs, and well, the problem is when I'm doing a video, I don't really edit them. Like, I joke to myself about editing things out later, but I generally kind of don't want to listen to myself talk again. So I'll clean up the front and the back, and I'll try to remember if there was anything like really dumb that happened midway through, and I'll remove that. But I'm not full out editing them, and it still takes quite a while. So if I'm doing like an hour on the episode, just kind of skimming through at a fast pace and fixing up the front and the back, that's probably about another hour. And then it takes less than that, but not much less, like 30 minutes for my computer to export and render out that video. And then, you know, I gotta leave it uploading. That probably takes 15 to 20 minutes. I have nice fast internet, but still, it's just big. I should say uploading plus processing, but the uploading I have to actually leave my browser window open for. And I create a thumbnail. All together, if I'm making like one 1 hour episode, it's still like 2 or 3 hours of work. So that's one problem. The other problem is even just the amount of time it takes in-game to get stuff done. I just kind of did it before without having any thought for how long it was taking me, but now I'm kind of trying to block it off into like, okay, let's do a 20-minute episode. More than that's a bit much. And I get barely anything done. I'm realizing that it should have been obvious, right? I've got 1,300 hours played in this game according to Steam, so I've been playing quite long times, and I understood that it took quite a long time, but I just kind of wasn't sitting there and cataloging it. I am really early in the game, I feel like, for the amount of time I put into it. Like, I have put... It's time for systems I won't have to touch again. That's the good news. Back when I did kind of my first world, and before I knew like how I liked things, sometimes I'd have to, you know, I'd get everything set up, and then a couple hours later I'd be like, well, I don't like that, I'm gonna redo it. And I shouldn't have to do very much of that here, hopefully. I have kind of a setup in mind for a lot of things that I do now, especially the freight carts. But still, I don't feel like I'm very far along in the game. Okay. That wasn't what I was supposed to be making you guys watch. Let me plunk down another one of these setups. That can get to work while I'm AFK. And probably in the next episode, I'm going to come back through here and actually do the full setup on the mass manufacturing room. This was just me starting to clean out the area. I'll finish knocking down that mountain a bit better off camera. Thank you for watching. Now go do something epic.